Yo, so it is with a heavy heart to say that we lost HighGaurd. Like, did you see the well, yeah, my camera's not on my VTube avatar, but feel the aura of dread coming from me, knowing that a game that everyone knew was going to be bad, and a game that people who've played the fucking game, like, it is going to be bad and it fails. Imagine my shock when a game that wasn't made for gamers, for the consumer, a game that did not have any I'd give it one thing. I guess the environment was fine. The weapons were looked all right. It had an interesting mechanic, but that's just about it. Like, the game had no hook. The game gave you no reason to keep playing. Like, people played it for maybe like a couple of hours and they've lost like 80% of their player base within the first day. That's not good. And people are calling it Concord 2. And again, Jeff Keighley, I ain't blaming him. In fact, this studio should be thanking Jeff. Because I feel like if Jeff didn't hype this shit up, it probably would have sold to like 10 people. And when it eventually shut down 10 days later, those whole 10 people would have been mad. But nah, I mean, they've actually tried to market themselves as, oh, I am by the creators of Titanfall and Apex. And it'd be so easy to just give the market a Titanfall 3, but for some reason they just don't. Like, there's this trend of not giving the gamer what they want that has hardened the hearts of many gamers. When a game fails and people get fired and developers get fired for making just games that are blatantly bad, you don't see a single tear coming from people's eyes. In fact, they're glad it's happening. And again, this is the spite that has been built up over the years. You could have just gave the consumer the games they want. And the odd thing is, old Ubisoft developers like the people on Sandfall that made Clair Obscur, right, are the people making that fucking Project Windless game, or like Wind Rose. Like, these are old Ubisoft developers that are just giving the fucking consumer what they want, even though Ubisoft is incapable. It could just be easy to just do that. But I guess, again, I don't know what's happening in these companies, right? I'm just a consumer. One, I don't care what's happening. Like, I don't have to care what's going on. I just want good fucking games. Like, it's really just that simple. But that doesn't seem to be what the company want. Like, companies want to make these forever games, like games you play because, well, you already paid for the season pass, or you already have the Xbox whatever the fuck subscription, so you might as well play it. Or it's the game your friends play, so you might as well play it to be social with them. Like, these are the type of games they're trying to make. They don't want to make experiences, right? The type of games like in Gears of War that you stay up till like 3 a.m. in the morning to play, a single player story driven game with an added multiplayer. These are not the games they're trying to make anymore, right? And okay, it's fine to have one game like that, but how many games can you think of are just trying to be the game, that forever game? The gaming as a second jobs. The game that has season passes, that has uh, daily logins that has, loot boxes or has gear score, item score, weapon score, perk trees, or this hero schlop shooter that has eye gouging fucking uh, visuals. Like, how many companies are trying to release games like that? Like, I mean, Blizzard's making one. Oh, I mean, I have World of Warcraft, which is now one of those games. Bungie made one. Activision is peddling the corpse of Black Ops. EA, it's like what people want are small, contained stories with good visuals, good bosses, and hell, it could even have shitty fucking combat, right? As long as everything else remains amazing, people will play it. Interesting stories and interesting cultures with interesting gameplay and mechanics. Like, and again, a first person shooter, like, you're kind of kneecapping yourself unless you do what. And I played this game called, I played two games called one, Forgive Me Father. The first one was amazing. And two, Blood West. Like, I feel like these games really encapsulate first person shooters because, I mean, despite having the same mechanics as, well, they're kind of like, one's more of a Doom clone and one's more realistic. But they do amazingly, and I enjoy. Like, why can't we get first person shooters like that? Like, I get it, right? They have to chase trends, like the marketing team, the sales team is taking the helm, and they're trying to replace people that have worked there at the companies with AI that worked there for 20 plus years with AI. So now they're trying, and then they use the AI, and they're like, well, I guess it doesn't work. It's just AI is just being used as a reason to lay people off, or the company's making bad, like purposefully bad fucking games, just so they can lay off senior staff and keep the marketing team in, and then they promote the marketing team to CEOs, and then those CEOs and those CFOs and the upper management have golden parachutes to other companies and other projects that will fail. And I do believe this is the trajectory of HighGaurd, and make no mistake, right? This is done by intent. Like, there is an active intent to, shove upper management of bad products from one game to another game to make that game bad. Like, it's an apparatus in place to just allow that to happen. Unfortunately, the gamer will not stand for that. That we will support good games that try to make games for us. And games like HighGaurd, unfortunately, we will allow to fail, and we will gladly let it fail. And again, when I go back to hardening your hearts, it's like, you remember in the Bible when they talked about how God hardened the Pharaoh's heart with all them plagues and shit, and people, and there's many interpretations to this, right? Like, people believe that God literally casted a spell to make his heart hard, make him to give make him hard. But what I'm saying is, no, it's a coping mechanism, right? People are people have been burnt before by games and by studios that, again, actively are trying to make products that go against what the consumer wants. So when games like these fail, people are like, good. You built up enough spite for me, and now you're not getting my money. And now you're forced to work at McDonald's And Rip Bozo, rest in piss, you won't be missed. You know, it didn't have to get to this point. It didn't have to go this way. And again, yeah, HighGaurd had a whole fucking, what was it, roadmap, quote unquote. Like, this is also a thing to trick shareholders into being like, no, don't, you gotta invest in us because we got a plan, even though we won't really enact that plan. And again, this is no short amount of people who started playing the game, right? But it's a free game. Okay, so the idea is to sell skins, which was not going to happen. And again, they should thank Jeff Keighley. I don't think Jeff Keighley did anything wrong here. He just did what they probably paid him to fucking do. But unfortunately, the market is healthy. The gaming market is as healthy as it ever been. The chuds have spoken, and they said, "Get this shit out of our fucking face. We will have our waifu games. Thank you very little." And that's what happened. But anyway, rest in piss. You won't be missed. Peace out.